Ready, headlines?
Roll headlines.
Hundreds of people march in Los Angeles for friends and loved ones they've lost. Cal State Northridge's men's soccer team seems to be on the right track towards the Big West tournament. Watch out, Santa Monica visitors. Parking rates will soon be changing and may affect your wallets.
Hello, and thanks for joining us on Valley View News. I'm Samantha Minton.
And I'm Jacqueline Guzman.
In recent years, protesters around the country have marched against what they call law enforcement misconduct. One such demonstration was held in Los Angeles, a city that has seen a sharp drop in crime and improved relations between citizens and police. Emiris Alarcon reports.
Oink, oink, bang, bang, every day the same old thing.
A few hundred people gathered on the corner of Florence and Crenshaw to protest against police brutality. Mary Huckleby says that she is here for her brother who was shot 3 times in the chest because the officers thought he had a knife.
What I want to get out is, justice for, for killing him, or the ways they can change their tactics. Maybe a taser would have helped. Shot him once in the leg or whatever, he would have lived.
Elizabeth Venable says that they are here to speak up for people that do not have a voice.
The communities get ignored and aren't listened to year after year. Even though they face this type of brutality, it's as if their lives are not as important as the lives of everybody else.
This is why people were given the chance to speak out against police misconduct on top of a truck decorated with pictures of victims. Dr. Vickie Jensen, who teaches criminology, says that even though cases of police brutality exist, there is another aspect to it that is commonly overlooked.
Police officers can, in fact, be following procedural rules, but do things that look very alarming to the population. It may be that some of those procedural rules need to be re-examined.
Captain Philip Tingarides says that the relationship between the police and the people in these urban neighborhoods have gotten better.
I think that is probably one of the reasons you're going to see a very low turnout for this, because there's not that many people that feel that the problem is still significant enough to come out and have a protest like this.
And that was the case this year, as only about 200 people gathered to march the 2 miles down Crenshaw Avenue to Lamar Plaza Park.
Even though the turnout was low this year, the organizations say that they will continue the fight against police brutality, especially since statistics show that 1 out of 116.4 officers will commit some type of misconduct this year.
And even though the subject is controversial, the families say that nothing will replace what they already lost. In South Central Los Angeles, this is Emiris Alarcon for Valley View News.
A 16-year-old Long Beach student has been killed after a high school football game. 2 other men were wounded and were reported in stable condition. Authorities say that 2 men were not students. Their identities have not been released. The violence happened after a Wilson and Polytechnic high school game. The suspect or suspects fled after the shooting, and authorities say the incident did not seem to be gang-related.
A suicide bomber set up blast outside a bank in Pakistan, killing at least 35 people and wounding 65 others. People were waiting in line at the National Bank in Rawalpindi when the bomber rode up in a motorcycle. Witnesses say that the blast blew out windows in the 3-story building and could be felt about a block away. Pakistan has been rocked by a wave of attacks, mostly directed against the military.
Election officials in Afghanistan have declared a winner in their country's presidential election. Even before the election was held, incumbent President Hamid Karzai has been named the winner because his only opponent, Abdullah Abdullah, dropped out of the race. Abdullah said he quit because he didn't think a fair election could be held. United Nations officials have said an earlier election in August was plagued by widespread fraud. The announcement of Karzai's victory means he will serve another 5-year term. He has been Afghanistan's president since 2004.
An Obama official says 10 million more doses of the H1N1 vaccine are being made available to the public. The advisor says the vaccine manufacturers claimed they would have 40 million doses available by early October, but manufacturers fell far short of that number. The Obama administration says the additional 10 million doses should catch up with the public demand for the vaccine.
Many people in Southern California are lining up to get a swine flu vaccine. Still, other people are wondering just how effective it can be. Jocelyn Bonilla reports on one place where the vaccine was distributed.
Only one life, please.
And one very long line is exactly what people did. They all came out on the third day of the swine flu vaccination clinic at the Balboa Sports Center. Catalina Alvarado, mother of 8, took this opportunity to bring 5 of her children to receive the vaccine.
I came at 7:30 this morning. I brought my kids, and they told me I could get the shot too. So I'm going to get it.
Providence Tarsiana Medical Center volunteers assisted individuals by handing out forms. They helped fill out the forms which required basic personal information and medical conditions. After getting a form, individuals were sent back to what appeared a never-ending line. Maria Gonzalez, who got the vaccine yesterday, came back today for her 2-year-old daughter to do the same. She says she trusts the vaccine.
I feel comfortable and no side effects, and I feel great.
Maria's 6-year-old nephew, Jonathan, on the other hand, was a little hesitant about the shot.
How do you feel? Are you nervous? Are you scared?
Nervous.
Nervous? Do you like shots?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Adults and children ages 2 to 49 can get the vaccine in either a nasal or injection form. California has currently received 1.7 million doses of H1N1, and the numbers are expected to reach 20 million this season.
There are 2 types of H1N1 vaccines. Live contains the portion of the live virus and is given in a nasal form. Killed contains the dead virus and is given as a regular shot. Bob Kaufman, who is getting the shot along with his wife, is debating if his 6-year-old son will do the same.
We just found out that the shots have mercury in them, so we're kind of nervous about that because in our family, my brother's son has autism, and it might be linked to mercury.
Mercury or not, people waited hours for their turn. In Encino, Jocelyn Bonilla for Valley View News.
The famous San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge has reopened. Officials say the bridge was shut down after 2 steel rods fell from its quarters. A spokesperson from the California Department of Transportation says final inspections of the structure are underway. Officials say they will fix any problems that arise during final inspections, if there are any. The California Department of Transportation also says safety is their main priority.
Workers are cleaning up about 700 gallons of oil that is spilled into the San Francisco Bay and along the nearby coastline. A ship from Panama spilled the oil while passing through the area. U.S. Coast Guard helicopters are tracking the spill and looking for any marine animals that may be dead or injured. Crews are shoveling up clumps of oil that have washed ashore. Many beaches were closed. Officials banned the fishing area. They say people should not eat seafood from that area until further notice.